This is Cooking for Bachelors. Today we're going to do stir fries. I'm going to start off with preparing all of our ingredients, and I have a bunch of ingredients prepared already, but I wanted to show you some of them and how we do it. Here's a chicken breast, and I want to cut thin slices so that they cook easily against the wok. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking the whole breast and I'm cutting on the bias just thin slices. Get a nice sharp knife. You should always have at least one good chef knife in your house. And if it's not a very fine knife, you can just sharpen it. Get a good sharpener is the most important thing. You don't need fancy knives. You don't need expensive knives. You just need to keep them sharp. So just cutting thin slices this way. Okay, we're just gonna put that on the plate. So we have all our ingredients ready to go. We're gonna make a chicken dish. We're gonna make a beef dish. Now with the broccoli, you don't want to leave it long stalks because you want bite-sized pieces when you're cooking stir fry. So what I like to do is just cut the stalk in little rounds. Follow the florets, fancy word for little trees. Follow the little trees and just cut down, and it'll just come apart easily. And you have little bite-sized pieces. Make it easy to eat. You know, this is a great dish to prepare if you're a single dad, to prepare with your kids. They get to pick exactly what goes in, and it's really easy to toss around. Okay, now I have some store-bought pineapple. It's fresh pineapple, but I didn't have to go through peeling and coring and all that. But what I'd like to do is just take out the center core and again, cut them into bite-sized pieces. There's so many ingredients available fresh nowadays in our markets. I mean, look at this. They already did the work for you. If you don't like pineapple, don't use pineapple. Use what you want. This is one of these where I've just put a whole bunch of ingredients together, and we'll see what comes out. There. So we'll take our ingredients over to the wok, and we'll start cooking. Okay, so we're over by the wok. This is an electric wok, and most of the action's going to be right in the center where the heat and coils are. Put a little oil in it and let that get hot. And what we're going to do is actually cook the meat and vegetables separately from each other. If you try to cook everything together, it's all the juices from the meat and the vegetables are going to blend, and you really don't want that to happen. You want to be able to brown your meat first so it has like a nice sear to it. And then we'll take it out and we'll do our vegetables. We'll start with the beef. Now this is London broil, and I cut it on the same angle that I did the chicken. So I just took a piece of London broil. It has really nice marbling in here. You can use any meat, but you don't want to use too inexpensive a piece of meat because it'll be tough. All right, this is great. So I'm gonna put some meat in. I have my plate as my shield. Ooh. Oh good, this keeps me away from the spattering oil. So you see, we're just searing our meat. And it's just cooking nicely on the outside. It doesn't have to cook all the way through yet because we will put it back in. Get it nice and brown on all sides. Look at that. Like I said, you can do this. This is a dish you can do with anything. And we cut it fairly thin so it cooks really quickly. This is pretty good immediate gratification meal. Okay, you can start taking it out. The thing about you cooking your vegetables, take all the meat out, okay, is the ones that are the densest you want to cook first, which would be the broccoli. Put the broccoli in. And I'm going to let that cook down just a few minutes to soften because that's really our hardest vegetable here. I'm going to put a little wine in here to have some moisture. And I'm using white wine instead of red wine even though I'm cooking meat because I wanted to add like a little bit of tanginess. You don't want that red wine meaty flavor, the very rich flavor. You want a light grapey flavor. And this is steaming the broccoli. And I'll add some of my other ingredients. Let's see. You kind of work with the cover with this, you know, because you want to cover it, you want to open it, you can use it when things are splattering to shield. It's also multiple uses, so you keep your cover around. These are shiitake mushrooms. They're sliced thinly, and you don't use the stems of shiitake mushrooms because they're really tough. You won't be able to eat them. I'm going to put in a little bit of celery, some onions, a little red pepper. Oh, this is fun. And look at this, you know, with the red and green, it actually balances the flavors, and it also will balance the nutritional value. We'll season it. A little salt and pepper, or you can use soy sauce. This is the low sodium soy sauce. You know, this isn't really Chinese food. This is stir fry. You can use what, you know, you relate as Chinese ingredients, or you can put other things in. Also, I think I'm going to put in a little jalapenos. There they are. Red peppers, green peppers. Just a little bit of heat is nice in there. It'll cook down. It won't be so hot. I'm going to cover that, cook it for a few minutes, and we'll add some more ingredients. How are we doing in here? You can really cook this as long as you want because all of these ingredients can be eaten raw. So you can choose how long you want to cook it. If you want your vegetables to have a little crunch, you cook it less time. If you want them more well done, then you cook them a little longer. Okay, I'm going to add the meat back. And I'm going to season it again. Now everything will cook together. The meat will finish cooking. All the flavors will blend. A little more soy sauce. A little more pepper. If you want your sauce to be a little thickened, what you would do is take out, finish cooking, take out all the ingredients, and then with the juices add a little bit of flour. But I really don't think that's necessary. This is a delicious meal. It's a one-pot meal. And we're going to add some bean sprouts. That would be at the very end, because these can cook in like 2 seconds. We're going to cover it and just let it cook down just a bit, and we'll be ready to eat. At least that dish. We're going to cook some more. Yeah, it's the wok and roll day. Okay, so you see we plated this beautiful beef and broccoli, and we're going to start cooking our next dish, which is chicken. The wok should be really hot. Put some oil in it. You can also use sesame oil if you want a little bit more Asian feel, but olive oil is perfectly great, acceptable. Ready to roll. You don't want to crowd it or it's not going to be able to cook. You push it against the sides so that everything, and separate the pieces of meat so they can all cook at the same time quickly. My shield. Aha! You will not get me. I have my wok cover. I'm using my oil really hot in here because, like I said, it's only focused in the center and I want it to cook quickly. That's the whole idea about wok cooking. My meat's in here. I'm going to add a little soy sauce. Get the salt started. Get the party started in here. So now the meat is cooking together with the soy sauce and it's going to flavor it a little bit more. And again, you don't have to worry if it's not all cooked through because it's going back in, and you can take the time for that. I'm going to use some of these snow peas and some onions. I'll let it cook down a little bit. It's one of these dishes that you can put absolutely anything in. It's a perfect example. You get whatever you have in the house. What can I make? I don't know, I'll toss it all together. Stir fry, one pot. Oh, this is good. Again, you don't really have to cook this down so much because these are vegetables that you can eat raw, so there's no time limit. A little soy sauce, a little pepper, ooh, it smells so good. I smell the soy sauce of the pepper and all the flavors, the onions are caramelizing. Nice. Okay, I'm gonna put my pineapple in. This is gonna be a sweeter dish. I'm just trying to vary the ingredients from one to another so you see how many kinds of ways we can make this. Again, the pineapple just has to heat through. You don't have to really cook it. Cover that for a few seconds. Now I'm going to put chicken back in. All the juices. And to this, I'm going to add some cashew nuts. Chicken and cashew nuts. Now you can throw them whole, or if you want them smaller, you just crush them between your thumbs and fingers like that. So you can have crushed, or you can have whole. But you know how when you order Chinese food, there's never enough cashews, so woohoo, you get to add what you want. Toss it through. You're gonna add a little more soy sauce. Cayenne, and then a little wine. White wine. I'm using white wine because it's light flavor, a little fruitiness. Toss it all through, make sure all that pepper and all the seasoning blends. We're gonna plate this and we're gonna cook our next dish. So we plated our chicken and cashew nuts and pineapple over here. And now we need fried rice. So same thing, add the oil, but we're gonna heat up different elements this time. Our meat is going to be pancetta. Now I chose this because for its nice smoky flavor, it's gonna add, I guess it would be like pork fried rice. If you don't wanna use pork, you can use leftover meat. You can use really anything that makes it tasty, or you can use it completely vegetarian, but I'm gonna add a little of this pancetta. I'm gonna cook the pancetta first. You know, this is already cooked, it's smoked. Hey, all right, while that's having a good time in there, hopping, I'm going to whip up an egg here. And you know the egg in fried rice. I'm gonna put the egg in. Now, you want to definitely whip this around because you don't want it to harden in one spot. Put some scallions in. Okay, you toss that around so it's breaking all up. I'm going to add some peas, and these are frozen peas. I'm going to add a little more oil because I want that egg to be separated. And then we're gonna add already cooked rice. So this is another thing to do, like if you have extra rice, a lot of people make too much rice. Oh, what should I do with all my extra rice? Make fried rice with it. And you wanna use a wooden spoon, by the way, when you're using any kind of coated surfacing. This is like a Teflon coated surface. Okay, you're tossing it around, make sure your egg is broken up. And now what we're gonna add is, I know, we're seeing a measuring cup. Well, you said no measuring. No, I just used it. It's actually half and half. It's half soy sauce, half water. You don't want it to be too salty. Again, mix it around, toss it around. I think I'm gonna add a little more scallions because I like that fresh flavor. And I'm gonna add some pepper. And we're just gonna let this cook down. And then we'll plate our rice. Well, we cooked our rice for less than 5 minutes. You wanna keep on tossing it, because remember, the electric wok has the element in the middle. But I'll tell you, you don't really need a wok. You can use a frying pan for this. Although it looks nice and it's, you know, represents like Chinese food, you really can use just a fry pan. I want to taste my rice because it smells so good. Oh wow, this is marvelous. It was really easy, less than 5 minutes. Enjoy your food.